Hey, Magic Mike here. I'm the People's Stripper, your wholesaler coach. I teach people how to wholesale deals automatically, and the topic for discussion today is how to pick the best strategy along with the best deal. And so what I mean by that is the strategy, the acquisition strategy, and which one is going to work best for you and your personality, and which one is going to go best depending on your area with the kind of deals. So the list of strategies I'm going to go over are mail, Craigslist, driving for deals, co-wholesaling, bandit signs, Facebook. And the type of deals I'm going to go over are mobile homes, mobile home parks, manufactured homes, single family residences. Basically, that's usually what wholesalers deal with. And then condos, tiny homes, which is new and coming up, multifamily, which is duplexes, all the way up to quads. I believe quints, 5 units. Anything past that is considered apartments, and that's the last one. So, well, first, what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is where you get a property under contract. You basically obtain rights to purchase that property, and then you sell those rights to a cash buyer or an end buyer who is another investor for a little bit more money. And so you get a property at 30, you sell it at 40, and you collect the $10,000 in the middle. The seller gets 30, he puts up the 40, and gets a property that he's usually going to put in, $30,000 worth of work. So he's all in for, say, 70, and then sells it for $100,000 to an owner occupant. So one strategy is mail, and mail is where you'll write letters, or you'll write postcards, or you'll have another company do that for you, and they will send those off or on your behalf. You can do it yourself and save some money. But basically, you're going to send it to the homeowner wherever they're at. So if they're in another state, you're going to send it there, and you're going to tell them, hey, I want to purchase this property that's here in my state, or wherever you're wholesaling at. And I think the reason that works so well, and while it's still viable, because you think like, oh, sending stuff in the mail, it's crazy, is because everybody uses email. Everybody's up on the other couple of strategies, and nobody uses it. So when you do get a mail piece in, it's usually going to be something that's, oh, hey, look, honey, we got some mail. Somebody wanting to buy that house we got in Texas, or Atlanta, or wherever. And sorry about any noise. There's other people here. We're out in the playroom. But another strategy is Craigslist. And with Craigslist, is what you're going to do is you're going to post ads. You're going to look through other people's ads, and you're going to basically see the properties that they post up. And you are also going to ask people about properties they want to sell. So you basically put up a little ad and say, hey, I buy houses, I pay cash, are you going through foreclosure, are you, you list out things that they're going through. Another one is, you can look through there at people already trying to sell their house. And so from there, you can look and see, well, why do they want to sell it? How much do they want? And that's pretty much it. Is you can either post an ad getting people in, or you can see other ads that people have posted. And of course, with Craigslist, everybody has access to it, so the quicker you are, the better. And these people generally have a lot more knowledge on how much they can sell their home for, and are asking around, usually shopping the deal to get the best price. Right? They're dealing with other people, so you've got to be quick, and that is the point on there. Is they want someone to be quick and they want to sell it. Obviously, they're using a free website. They want it to be quick So they want somebody to come in and make an offer, bam, take it, and then move on with their life. So that's why somebody would go with Craigslist. Driving for deals is basically just driving neighborhoods, driving areas where your cash buyers tell you they want properties, and just writing the addresses down, knocking on doors, meeting sellers, almost like an investigator, just finding out where who owns this property that looks like nobody wants it. And of course, your cash buyer wants it, and you should already know what they want it for. Another one is co-wholesaling, which is really big, and not a lot of people like to co-wholesale because they think, I want all the deal for myself. But as Juan Pablo says, low money is better than no money. And in most cases, it's going to be that it's a property that you got under contract, but you don't have a buyer in that area yet, or if you have a buyer in an area where you don't market to yet and they are thirsty for deals, then you can partner with somebody who's got a deal in that area and sell it to your buyer. There's always going to be times where you're going to be working with other wholesalers like this, co-wholesaling. And a way that you can stay ahead of other people is normally, like in the example I gave before, you get it at 30, sell it at 40, you would split that. You bring in the seller, they bring in the buyer, you get 50, they get 50%. So you each get $5,000. But a way to set yourself apart and possibly do more deals as a result is to give them 60%, and then you get 40, even if you bring in the seller, which is usually odd that most people want. If they bring in the seller, they want, I don't know. It's easier to convince somebody, hey, you bring in your buyer and I'll pay you 50, than it is to say, hey, bring in your seller, and you'll get 50% for some reason. But that's a way to stay ahead of your competition, right? Is people want to deal with you, but then more people will want to do that strategy with you. Another one is bandit signs. So you put up signs, you say we buy houses, you put a phone number, and that's basically it. I did a webinar on this last month, so if you're in the one-on-one, you should have, or if you're in the group coaching, you should still have access to that, and if you're in the one-on-one, you have access to all of those webinars. Another one is Facebook. So on Facebook, you can not only make status updates on your personal Facebook and tell people, hey, by the way, I flip houses, but you can also post ads, you can track it, you can put in what demographic you want, good credit, bad credit. As you know, if you've looked anything up online and then you click over to Facebook and all of a sudden it's in your feed like stuff you were looking at, they have eyes and ears everywhere. So if they have that many eyes on you, then you know that they're going to have all that stuff and that info out on sellers who own properties. And if you're in the one-on-one, you will have a list of vacant houses. You can actually upload that whole list into Facebook, and it'll tell you if they have a Facebook account, and then it will market to them. And the best part is they don't even know you're marketing to them, because they're scrolling through their feed and all of a sudden they see your ad as one of the updates as they're scrolling through there. So they don't even know, that you're doing that. And as a rule, you can't tell them like, hey, I targeted you using Facebook and a list, blah, blah, blah. And then if you're sending mail to them at the same time, they're like, man, this guy is everywhere. So that's a little tip for you. Now, pairing these with the right deal is going to include mobile homes, whether or not they have the axle, whether or not they're mobile or not. They're all technically not mobile, but you've got to figure out which one is which. And if there's a lot of mobile homes in your area, and a good thing to look at is if a lot of people want to buy mobile homes. That's the biggest one. And are there a lot of mobile homes, and are the laws in your area, unlike here in Georgia, they hate mobile homes. In order to put a mobile home down, you have to have 5 acres. So it's really not, there's only like maybe 1 or 2 people that I know that do mobile homes, and they do other stuff as well. And then there's mobile home parks, which is similar to apartments. There's manufactured homes, and again, you've got to make sure that you have a buyer lined up for that as well. There's single family homes, which everybody's doing, and I talk about a lot in other videos. And then there's condos. Condos have HOAs, homeowner associations, where everybody in a community pays like money to the association, and somebody who lives there runs that association. And most of the time, they're in with power, and they love just, having control over their little community. But most of the time, it's just people, they don't want, they want everybody's grass to be cut short. They, if it's in a big building, like a skyscraper, then this money will go to pay for, the swimming pool and all this other stuff to upkeep the building. So that's something to think about. And do they allow rentals? Do they allow flips? So you've got to make sure that HOA is investor friendly. And then there's tiny homes, which is coming up. And tiny homes is a new thing. And it's mainly out in the real rural areas. But it's basically 800-900 square feet homes, just because they're cheap. But you can truck them certain places, just on the back of it. Most of them fit like 2 of them on the back of a semi-truck. And they just dump them off somewhere. So, if you're flipping land, which is another one I forgot to add to this list, but you can also flip land. You can just dump that property on top. You can actually flip the house from like one plot to another plot, which is nice. And then of course you have multifamily and apartments. So flipping multifamily is usually going to be a little bit more complicated because one or more of the units may be rented out. Therefore, you're flipping a rental. So you got to kind of gauge, when you bring the cash buyer to see it, is he going to disturb the tenant? Does he want the tenant? Does he want a copy of the lease? What does the lease look like? Is it going to be okay with him? And all of that's got to be in your contract as well. So this is really good because they can close on the property and then show up and collect the rent, introduce themselves as the new landlord, and then potentially rent another one of those units out, increasing the value and their passive income. Because that's what you want, is that earn passively, live passionately. I wasn't sure if my dyslexia was going to swap those, but that is the end goal. And so, if you pull a whole list of condos or tiny homes or multifamily or manufactured, that could potentially be your thing, and the type of strategy you use to get those. So you could use Facebook to get mobile homes. And again, my timer is going off. So, I wish I could tell you more, but if you want to know more, there should be a group coaching link down below. And if you want more in-depth, there is one-on-one where you can work directly with me, and we can pick the right strategy that's going to work best with you and your strengths. If you're a good talker, if you're a good manager of other people, that kind of thing, and we can pair those up, what's best for you. And then from there, we're also doing a 12-week program where we just squash it all in 12 weeks, action-packed, and we will slingshot you in less than 30 days to flipping houses and wholesaling. And so if that's something you're interested, there should be a link below for that as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Magic Mike out.
Thanks for watching the video. We appreciate your viewership. By the way, guys, make sure you subscribe to 100%finance.com. We have a plethora of tools that can help you succeed financially. We have a report on credit repair, 3 tips on how you can improve your FICO score. We also have a business credit ebook. We have a ton of real estate related documents, from deal analyzers to a mortgage calculator, a whole bunch of resources. You just have to subscribe. And one last thing, don't want to forget, we are offering free live webinars to answer your questions. This is only made available to our website subscribers. So you have to subscribe to 100%finance.com to receive the details as to the date, the time, and the call-in information for the webinars to answer your credit repair, business credit, or business funding needs, as well as your real estate related questions. Thank you guys again for watching, and subscribe.